This is what we had discussed about, like we have different solids, and let's look how the different solids possibly can develop, right? Different types of solid that we have generally cylinder, prism, cone and pyramid, right? Let's start with cylinder. Suppose if we wish to develop a cylinder which have some diameter d and some height h, right? So if you unfold or if you cut this cylinder, let's say I just cut this cylinder. This is, you just assume as a hollow cylinder, right? It is not solid cylinder, but this is hollow cylinder. So if I put cut somewhere over here, just from this vertical, I just create a vertical cut, and then just I start to unfold this surface. So definitely the surface will look like in this rectangle shape. This is the parallel line development which I am talking about. Parallel line, that means you just construct the parallel line to this longer edge. Let's say we have the height, cylinder of height is h. So with that height you just start to draw a parallel line, and with that parallel line you construct a rectangle. What is the dimensions of rectangle? That is obviously when you unfold the cylinder, definitely that unfold will travel, or that unfold length will equal to the perimeter of the cylinder. Perimeter is ultimately pi into d. So you just extend or you just stretch that rectangle up to pi d length. So this is the pi d is the length, and width already we know that this is the equal to the height of that cylinder. So this is simple simplistic approach that for simple cylinder, this is the development of the that simple cylinder where height and diameter you have to consider, right? This is the second solid, prism. Let's say prism. So in the prism also, when I cut this prism somewhere from this vertical, if I put vertical cut, right, and then I will unfold this prism, then when you unfold that prism, then definitely that prism also containing the rectangular shape. That a developed surface is of a rectangular shape, but what should be the dimension? That is the question. So the dimension is, see, this is the height or longer edge of this prism. This all are longer edge which we had considered as h. So you simply construct a size of rectangle of that h length, right? H height. Now then the width of this rectangle must be depending on the what is the nature of this prism. Right now this is the pentagonal prism which have 5 sides. Each side having the size of s. Let's say s is the side length or edge length, right? So s is the edge length. So this is the edge. So let's say if it is a 20 mm, each edge is of 20 mm. So if this is a pentagonal prism, then it's have a 5 side. So 20 into 5, that means total number of side is 100. So you have to construct in that way. You just construct a total length of this rectangle of a 100 mm, or otherwise you just simply take the measurement over here, s measurement, and you just extend the infinite line over here, because initially if we don't know, then you simply extend the line, and then what simply you have to do, you just simply take the measurement, then just reflect that measurement over here from the compass. You just take a arc over here, that is the first. From this point to another point, you just make a second arc, third arc, fourth arc of that particular size, and depending on, because it is a pentagon, so you have to construct a 5 arc. So in that way you just 5 sides will actually reflected over here. Now in the case of cylinder, see, there is a no edges are visible throughout the surfaces, so there is no need to show any kind of edges. But definitely if we have a prism, so prism containing this outer edges, is all longer edges actually reflected when you have to show that edges when you develop the surfaces. Otherwise, if this is the rectangle, this is the rectangle, then how you can differentiate this is for the prism and this is for the cylinder? But in the case of cylinder, there is no clearly edges are visible. But in the case of prism, you have to highlight it all edges. So these are the all edges at s distance, at the frequency of s distance, all edges you have to shown. In that way you have 5 sides, 1 2 3 4 and 5 sides, 5 faces, which is actually coupled by this pentagonal prism. So this is what pentagonal prism, how you can develop general pentagonal prism. If it is a the dimension is given to you, accordingly you just calculate the dimension. If it is a 20 mm, I said that. So for that 20 mm, you have to construct 100 mm of this length, and height must be depending. Suppose if it is a 60 mm of prism, then height must be 60 mm. Accordingly, you have to proceed. So it's quite simple. Now, after this prism, we have, let's say, cone and pyramid kind of shape. So generally cone is look like this. So for the cone, we have to adopt that radial method. In the radial direction, we have to move. So in that, how you can proceed? You simply see this is the apex. You just locate the apex. Near to that apex, you just locate the center, and parallel to the slant edge. This is the slant edge, right? This is the slant edge, not axis. Axis is this, center one is the axis, but I am talking about slant edge. So parallel to the slant edge, you construct the equal length, equal dimension of the slant length parallel to the slant length, right? From this origin, you just construct a line which have dimensions that is equal to slant length. Now this line we have, now you just took the compass and just make a arc. Right now we don't know how much arc we have to construct. So for that we have simple equations or simple formula. This is the slant length which I am talking about. After slant length, you just take this as a radius, this as a origin, and then simply make a arc. Make a arc. Now how far that arc should be? So that arc measurement can be decided with the help of this r by l. This is the simple equations, r by l into 360 degree. That means suppose this cone having a radius of 20 mm. So you just incorporate 20, and let's say if it is a slant length, not axis length. This is the slant length I am talking about. So that slant length, if it is a 60, so 20 by 60, that means 1 by 3, and then in that way it is 120 degree. Total 120 degree of arc you have to construct for develop this cone. So once you just proceed for 120 degree, mark that 120 degree somewhere over here. So once you mark that 120 degree, you just join that 120 degree location with this origin O point. So this is entire surface will be you treated as a developed surface for this particular cone with this particular dimensions. So after we have pyramid, the same way pyramid is obviously the similar kind of cone, but it's containing the sharp edges. Let's say a square pyramid we have. So for the square pyramid, again we will start with this apex origin point. Just from this far, you just locate the center, and you just locate the parallel to this apex, parallel to this slant length. You just create or construct this length of line which is equal to slant length, and with that again you just construct a arc. We don't know how much we have to proceed. Simply you construct an arc by keeping this as a origin and keeping this as a radius. L is the radius for this case. Now see, in this pyramid we have straight edges on the bottom as well as in this slant edges also, it is straightly visible. Now when you unfold this, definitely this all are this S indicating the side edges, length of this side edges, bottom edges, right? This is the slant edges, this is the bottom edges. So let's say if its bottom edges is 20 mm. So when you unfold this to one, this is the four sides. So 20 plus 20 plus 20 plus 20, that means total 80 mm should be the you have to proceed for the 80 mm once you develop. So how you can reflect over here? So for that, simply you just take the measurement of that S, and then simply you reflect that S from this point to 20 mm. You just locate the arc, and then you just join that with the straight line. So it will indicating the first bottom edge. In the same way, from this point you just reflect the 20 mm again and join that with the second straight edge, third straight edge, and fourth straight edge. So in that way you decide how you have to proceed. And once you join all bottom edges, definitely that bottom edges are connected with this all four slant edges. This is also four slant edges, so which is connected with this apex. So with this apex you just create this 1, 2, 3 and 4 slant edges. So in this way, you can construct this development for pyramids, right? These are the second method. Whatever method, see, we are not go in that detail which method we are utilizing, but it's simple parallel method and radial approach. So these are the four general solids which generally we are using throughout our study, because this is the common shapes which generally applicable for the various applications. So that section of solid, when you do the sectioning approach, so after sectioning, that solid is actually referred as a frustrum. It is not called as a solid, but if it is a, if you cut that solid with the cutting plane, then that remaining solid is referred as a frustrum. Likewise, let's say if we have cone, and if you cut that cone from somewhere over here with the help of cutting plane, and then remaining solid is this. Now I wish to develop this remaining solid. That remaining solid is generally referred by frustrum. Frustrum is the somewhat half-cutted solid, right? So to develop this frustrum, initially we have to look what is the original shape of this frustrum. So original shape of this frustrum is definitely cone. It is a cone, simple. So initially you have to develop for the cone. So simply for the cone, we know that if it is having a slant length L, so you just start with this radial approach, and you just create a, you just calculate the theta, and you simply develop that entire cone surfaces. This is the development of surfaces for the entire cone, which have this slant length L and some radius R. Now I mentioned that this cone is actually cutted with the some section plane. So somewhere over here, let's say somewhere over here, that means from the apex at L1 length. So you just take the measurement from that apex to that L1 and just reflect that in this way, because only this much portions you have to develop. This is not exist. Only this much portion is exist. So whatever remaining portion you removed from this solid or from this cone, that you have to eliminate it, and remaining development only you have to consider for this. So only this development you have to consider, and then you have to just highlight it in this way. So this is how you can develop any frustrum kind of solid, frustrum kind of shape. If we have like pyramid, suppose initially by looking this shape, definitely this is the originally it was pyramid, but someone is actually cut this pyramid somewhere by cutting plane. So what again, you just consider entire pyramid and then construct entire the development for entire pyramid in this way. So we know that pyramid having like for this it is a square pyramid, so four edges. So you construct four, you just take the measurement of for individual edges and just reflect on this way. First, second, third, fourth will completed. You just join that all bottom edges with the slant edges. We have four slant edges. So this is common development for the square pyramid. Now let's incorporate this information that we already cut this pyramid at this location, like from apex at L1 locations. So you just take the measurement from apex to this L1 and then reflect that from this apex to L1. For here, you just take a arc for here, all edges, you just take a arc, make a arc in this way. And then simply because it is not curvature kind of shape at top edges, it is a edge, right? On the top also you have a edge. If I consider this as a bottom and this as a top, definitely this is a straight edge. It is not curvilinear. So simply you just join that all with the straight edges in this way, right? So once you join, we know that this is the remaining part which we are unfolding. That means we are developing this frustum. So that developed part you have to highlight it in this way, because this developed part only containing this edges, which this longer edges or slant edges, this first, second, third, and fourth. So initially these are the construction line, object line, not object line. Initially you have to construct with the paint line. Then after finally you have to once your development will ready, that you have to highlight it with the object line in this way. First, second, third, and fourth edges, which should not up to this length. Obviously this all slant length will be cutted up to this length. So that you must be highlighted in this way. And this is what actually development of this frustum, which is a square pyramid. So this I think all different case I had discussed, general case. These all are general case.